Hello everybody, my name is Absent Atlas and welcome. I'm back to another video. Creators have had grievances with YouTube and the people running it since the beginning of the website, and those grievances have persisted and changed and evolved over time. But at this point, YouTube's problems and the problems rooted into their system have grown too large and too destructive to ignore. Now, folks, YouTube is a very large platform, okay? Like, we're talking, like, what, hundreds of millions of users? And when you have a large platform like that, consistency is essential, okay? But YouTube has failed to be consistent on every single level. And that is ultimately a fact that spells disaster for the platform. Now, to give you an example of this, back, a few months back, Markiplier and Critical reacted to this clip a while back, right? And now, Critical's video got taken down for featuring the clip, but Markiplier's video didn't. Now, both of them are large creators, but Markiplier is significantly more, is a significantly bigger YouTuber than Critical is. Now, and eventually this got traction. Critical addressed it, and so this got people, up in arms, right? And so people complained to YouTube, right? And eventually, Markiplier's video also got taken down, and that was seen as a victory for some people. But like, at the end of the day, why did this happen in the first place? And people are really starting to question YouTube's whole moderation system. And yeah, I'd like to reiterate, YouTube is a massive platform, hundreds of millions of users. But, while you may only hear of a few scenarios of this happening, the reality is scenarios like this happen every single day. But most of them you won't hear about. And most of those injustices will go uncorrected. The only reason this correction was made was because Critical had enough influence, enough of a voice, enough of an impact for YouTube to actually give a shit about what he had to say and for YouTube to actually listen to his problems. Now you might be wondering, why does this happen? Why do these mistakes keep happening? And really, the answer is relatively simple. Ironically enough, YouTube's rules are too vague. And even too vague for the employees that work there. Now, what I mean by that is, videos that get taken down and appealed and whatnot, they are manually reviewed, okay? And so, because YouTube's terms of service is so vague, it is up to each manual reviewer to interpret YouTube's terms of service and make a decision. Now, people have a lot of different biases, and especially when the TOS is so when the TOS is so vague like this, then people are really gonna have all sorts of different interpretations. No one interpretation is gonna be the same, and that is a huge problem. If one reviewer has a bad day, and they decide, to take it out on you, then that means your channel could be gone forever. It could be deleted. Your channel could vanish, and if you didn't have enough influence, if you don't have enough followers for YouTube to listen to you, then there's nothing you can do to stop it. And it is, your channel will just silently dies, and no one will hear that story. And I can tell you that's probably happened to hundreds, maybe even thousands of people. But of course, we will never hear about them, because they don't have the power necessary to make that case to us. That is an incredibly scary thing for creators, especially ones who consider YouTube a career and consider doing YouTube as a full-time job, you understand? Because that is a scary thing. If you're relying on YouTube for your income, well, one day maybe some manual reviewer decides to delete your channel. Then you have no more income, and if you haven't been saving up and you haven't been preparing, then you're in a bit of a bad situation. YouTube is a shaky and inconsistent platform. And I will be 100% honest here. If they do not fix things, if they do not clean up ship, then that may be their demise. Right, so I'm not talking about a situation where we have like every single viewer and every single creator gets really infuriated by YouTube's bullshit and decides we're not going to use YouTube, we're going to boycott YouTube until they do something. No, because that's unrealistic. Because at the end of the day, people are still going to watch YouTube, okay? No one really cares enough to stop watching YouTube because of this. The kind of demise I'm insinuating is rather that, let's say if YouTube continues to keep up this reputation of being an unstable platform, or things are volatile and, you may not know if your channel is going to be still up next week, you know what I'm saying? If YouTube continues to project that image, then perhaps creators will maybe transition to a competitor, one that is more stable and one that they can actually, rely on and actually not wake up one day to see that their channel is gone and that their career is totally ruined, right? And perhaps new creators, the ones we're going to be watching 10 years from now. Maybe those creators are going to make their start on another platform, one that's more stable. And essentially, that will render YouTube obsolete. That will make YouTube just a dead platform. Because people need that stability. If I'm going to work a job, then I need to have some assurance that I'm not going to lose that job tomorrow. That I'm not going to lose that job tomorrow, like instantly, without any sort of forenotice, anything like that. No. I'm not going to do that, right? And I think that's the mindset a lot of other creators are going to have. So, yeah. And to be honest, these problems, it's not like it's rocket science to fix this, okay? These problems are very easy to solve. For one, you can just make the terms of service a lot more specific. So that way moderators are working off of something that is more all-encompassing. Or you could at least, you may not even have to update that, but at least give moderators some sort of training or like a guide, maybe in like a piece of paper at their desk that says, in this scenario, do this, right? That's really all you have to do. So it really, the thing I want to say is that these problems with YouTube are not only a PR threat and a moral obligation, but it's actually an existential threat to YouTube. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, click that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will talk to you all later.